The Genius Club with Prairie Pine. Chapter 32. Disguise. Alex walked toward the west side of the square. That's where Cece spawned. Before long, he spotted his target. A woman wearing a black bodysuit underneath, a plaid trench coat over the top, her dark brown hair tied up in a high bun, and an Ultraman mask on her face. It was exactly Cece. The previous time Alex had seen Cece in the bank warehouse, she'd only been wearing the black bodysuit like a spy. Presumably, she'd thought the spy outfit was too eye-catching, so she'd put on a long trench coat to blend into the crowd when meeting at the square. Cece's long hair, tied up in a bun at the back of her head, was secured with a red ribbon. It was round and puffy, looking incredibly thick, something to envy. But the reality was there was a gun hidden inside. Cece had two guns on her, one at her waist and another concealed in her bun. What a dangerous woman, Alex muttered as he walked toward Cece, sizing up her figure. She was slender, very thin, and about 165 centimeters tall. Strangely enough, he felt no sense of familiarity at all, not the slightest impression. Had he really met this person before? The feeling was contradictory. He was certain he'd heard Cece's voice in reality before, but it was hard to imagine. If he'd really met a girl with such a model-like figure, how could he have no memory of her? Forget it. Stop overthinking, Alex said to himself, walking straight toward Cece. Whether she was human or a ghost, a demon or a goblin taking off her mask later, would reveal the truth. Hey, Alex said as he approached Cece from behind. He watched her turn around and asked, "Password expert?" Cece looked Alex up and down without speaking. After a long pause, she nodded slightly. "What should I call you?" Alex smiled faintly. "People in the business call me Big Face Cat. You can call me Brother Face." With that, he pointed to the van by the road. "The car's over there. Come with me." He then turned around and started walking back. Snap! A delicate white hand pressed firmly on Alex's shoulder, pinning him in place. "You call yourself Big Face Cat?" "Yes," Alex replied without turning around. "People in the business call you Big Face Cat." "That's right." Cece stared intently at Alex. "But your face isn't big at all. Why would people call you Big Face Cat?" A scorching summer wind blew, fluttering the red ribbon in Cece's hair and the corner of her trench coat. Neither of them spoke, but the atmosphere grew increasingly tense. Alex suddenly realized he'd underestimated how hard it would be to pretend to be Big Face Cat. It wasn't something a simple mask could solve. He'd fooled Big Face Cat with the Ultraman mask only because Big Face Cat was stupid. It had little to do with the mask itself. Someone as smart as Cece had at least 800 more tricks up her sleeve than Big Face Cat. Even though she didn't know Big Face Cat's appearance, name, or voice, her intuition told her that Alex didn't look like a desperado, let alone someone who would rob a bank. Fortunately, Cece was only suspicious of him for now. He hadn't been fully exposed yet. There was still time to redeem the situation. Alex stood up straight and slowly turned around. Cece kept her right hand on his shoulder, while her left hand reached for the gun at her waist. "Does being called Big Face Cat mean you have to have a big face?" Alex stared at Cece. "What else would it mean?" Cece stared back. "What's your name then?" "Cece. By your logic, you should be called AA, not CCC. Snap! Alex swatted Cece's hand away from his shoulder, cutting off her chance to argue. He stuffed his hands in his pockets and walked toward the van. "Come or not, It's up to you. Even without you, the password expert, I can blast my way in with C4 and rob the place anyway. Alex got into the driver's seat, closed the door, shifted into gear, and floored the gas pedal, tires screeching as the van lurched forward. Vroom! Wait! CC ran over quickly, pulled open the passenger door, and got in. She crossed her arms and said nothing, clearly still resentful. Alex held out his right hand. Give me the gun. What will I use if I give it to you? CC scoffed. Use the one in your hair. CC widened her eyes at Alex. In the end, she slapped the pistol from her waist into Alex's hand. She then pulled the red ribbon holding her bun in place. Whoosh! Her smooth, long hair cascaded down like a waterfall, and a black gun appeared in her hand. She bit the red ribbon with her lips, gathered her hair in her palms, and retied it with the ribbon. Alex watched silently. So that's why she used a ribbon instead of a rubber band to tie her hair. It came undone with a single pull. No wonder Big Face Cat had been shot in the head so quickly last time. Alex picked up the gun in his hand. He skillfully removed the magazine, checked the number of bullets, slid it back in, cocked the gun, reversed it, and tucked it into his waist, all in less than a second. He then looked ahead and drove on, saying nothing. On the surface, he was calm, but inwardly, he let out a sigh of relief. Fortunately, it seemed he'd gotten away with it. So far, the plan was going smoothly. Alex's greatest advantage was that he could try countless times in the dream, restart again and again, and fail endlessly. These repeated attempts and experiments allowed him to accumulate intelligence that felt almost omniscient. He remembered the first time he'd met Big Face Cat and CC Cade, being toyed with completely. Either of them could have shot him dead with a single bullet. But after 3 or 4 cycles of exploration, he knew every detail of the incident like the back of his hand. With such a huge information gap, he could easily manipulate anyone. What had just happened was a bit different from what he'd planned. He hadn't expected CC to suspect he wasn't Big Face Cat at first glance. But it didn't matter. With his quick thinking, he not only fooled her but also obtained the most crucial item he needed, a gun. Without a gun, he really wouldn't have known how to get past the 3 subordinates. There was no communication between them along the way. Ultraman and Ryan Cat stared straight ahead without glancing at each other. One could only wonder what passers-by thought when they saw this bizarre van. Soon, they reached their destination. Alex pulled the pistol from his waist and gestured for CC to get out. Follow me, and bring your laptop. After getting out of the car, Alex and CC hurried toward the bank entrance. A black-clad subordinate was messing around at the door. He looked up at Alex, confused. You! Bang! A bullet hit him square between the eyebrows, blood splattering all over the wall. Nice shot, CC prayed. She'd watched closely. The entire process of drawing and shooting had happened in an instant, with no aiming at all. Hitting the target was something many people could do, but a headshot straight between the eyes, without any extra aiming. That was the mark of a sharpshooter. But why did you kill your own subordinate? CC asked. Alex pushed open the bank door and walked in. He was dishonest. People like that can't be trusted. They reached a corner. A masked man stood up in shock, pointing at Alex. You, bang, 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 bang. Another instant headshot, right on target. Why kill this one too? He hit on the boss's wife. Do you think he deserved to live? C stared at Alex in shock. He cheated on you with your wife? No, we have a common boss above us. I'm talking about his wife. They continued forward, and a black figure ran up from the underground passage. Bang! CC couldn't help but take a step back. Even with the target moving so fast in the dark, he'd still gotten an instant headshot. She gripped her gun tightly and followed behind Alex. How did you learn to shoot like that? Practice makes perfect, Alex replied, pointing to the pitch-black wall ahead and the silver password door in the middle. Your turn, password expert.